July 2005. The world is fixated on the booming US housing market, Europe's economic expansion, and China's meteoric rise as a manufacturing powerhouse. But beneath the radar, far from Beijing's financial towers or Wall Street skyscrapers, something remarkable is unfolding. In small towns across China, from the bustling markets of Guangzhou to the serene rice paddies of rural Hunan, a quiet financial revolution is brewing. And it's not led by stockbrokers or hedge fund managers, it's led by housewives. Yes, ordinary women managing family savings, armed with little more than an internet connection and a fierce determination to secure a better future. They call them Damas, a term of endearment in China for elder women, but in the world of finance, these Damas are anything but ordinary. Driven by a lack of options at home and inspired by tales of wealth from foreign investments, these women are turning to an unexpected avenue: global markets. Little did anyone know, the collective power of these small-town investors would soon ripple beyond China, catching the attention of international banks and economists alike. Imagine it. A movement sparked not in the glow of stock market screens, but in family kitchens and bustling local markets, where conversations over grocery budgets quietly evolve into discussions on currency fluctuations and commodity prices. These Damas are about to challenge the status quo and push the boundaries of global finance from behind their modest screens. This is the story of the housewife investors of China, a story of resilience, ingenuity, and how small-town women shook the foundations of global markets from their living rooms. How did they do it? And how much influence do they truly wield in the world of high finance? Stay with us as we dive into this unexpected financial revolution, where everyday traders make waves that reach far beyond their own borders. To understand the rise of China's Dharma investors, we need to rewind to the early 2000s. China's economy was booming, with growth rates that astonished the world. Factories were thriving, exports were soaring, and cities were expanding at a rapid pace. But beneath the surface of this success lay a challenge for everyday citizens, especially those in smaller towns. For many years, the financial landscape in China was limited. While urban areas like Beijing and Shanghai had access to various investment options, most small-town residents only had one real choice for saving their money: local banks. Here, interest rates were low, and inflation steadily eroded the value of personal savings. For the Damas, this meant their hard-earned savings weren't growing, at least not enough to secure the future they dreamed of. Around this time, stories began to circulate about foreign investments, international stock markets, and something called forex trading. These tales painted a picture of potential riches, a way to multiply savings by trading foreign currencies, stocks, or commodities. While initially intimidating, the idea caught the attention of the Damas, many of whom managed household finances and sought ways to protect and grow their families' wealth. With the rise of the internet and easy-to-use trading platforms, an unexpected door opened for them. From their living rooms or internet cafes, these women could now access global markets previously reserved for financial elites. To some, it felt like uncharted territory. To others, it was a chance to seize control of their financial future. And so, driven by a blend of financial necessity and ambition, the Damas began their journey into the world of global markets. They pooled savings, did their own research, and, with surprising ingenuity, started trading foreign currencies and stocks. In small villages, they exchanged tips and strategies, building an informal network of knowledge that strengthened their confidence. Little did anyone realize that these small-town investors would soon become a force to be reckoned with, one that even financial analysts couldn't ignore. With each trade, these Damas were stepping into an arena dominated by professionals, ready to challenge the norms and push the limits of what was thought possible from a kitchen table in rural China. As the Damas ventured deeper into the financial world, they quickly realized they were in unfamiliar waters. Traditional Chinese investments, like bank deposits or government bonds, offered stability but minimal returns. For many, this felt like watching their money sit idle, unable to grow beyond its basic value. Meanwhile, news of stock markets booming overseas and the excitement of currency trading began to trickle into their lives through news articles, online forums, and even conversations among friends. Curiosity grew, and for some, so did a sense of urgency. They saw the returns foreign investments offered and compared it with the stagnation in their own accounts. But diving into these markets meant facing challenges. Global markets were volatile, complex, and unregulated compared to what they were used to in local banks. Yet the Damas found themselves drawn to the possibility of greater returns, even if it meant learning a whole new language of finance. For many, their first discovery was forex trading. Unlike traditional savings, forex trading promised the allure of faster gains, capitalizing on the fluctuations between currencies. They could borrow in Chinese yuan at low interest rates and exchange it into foreign currencies like the US dollar, where returns were higher. Some began by making small trades, testing the waters cautiously. Others, driven by the success stories circulating among friends and online, became bolder, increasing their investments and taking on higher risks. But with this new opportunity came a stark realization. These markets didn't play by the same rules. Unlike saving in a local bank, forex and global stock markets could shift unpredictably. For every success story, there was also a tale of loss, a reminder that this path was not without its perils. Yet the Damas saw this risk as a calculated one, a chance to break free from the limited financial landscape around them. They started building strategies, leaning on each other for guidance, and in doing so, created an unexpected network of small-town investors taking on the world stage. Unbeknownst to the financial giants, a group of small-town Chinese women was quietly stepping into a domain previously dominated by seasoned professionals. And while they may have started out cautiously, the Damas were about to prove that even from the humblest beginnings, extraordinary results could emerge. The Damas may have started cautiously, but their growing experience brought confidence, and soon they were making bolder moves. As they became more familiar with forex and stock trading, they learned to navigate the ups and downs of international markets. Some of the more tech-savvy Damas even began using online resources, forums and tools to sharpen their strategies, following real-time market changes and currency shifts from their phones or computers. One major turning point came as they mastered a technique known as the carry trade. In this strategy, the Damas would borrow in Chinese yuan, where interest rates were relatively low, and invest in foreign currencies like the US dollar or Australian dollar, where interest rates were higher. This difference in interest rates allowed them to earn on the spread, essentially pocketing the difference as profit. It was an advanced technique, usually employed by seasoned traders, yet these small-town women were executing it with surprising skill. In small gatherings and online chat groups, they shared insights on which currencies offered the best returns and discussed global events that might impact their trades. They tracked movements in the Australian and US markets, aware that geopolitical events or economic shifts could affect currency values. This network of informal market analysts allowed the Damas to act swiftly, often making moves that anticipated broader market trends. In some cases, their collective activity became so significant that it caught the attention of financial analysts and news media, who started to recognize the impact these seemingly modest investors were having on global currency markets. Another turning point was their response to volatility. When market conditions became unpredictable, the Damas adapted by diversifying their strategies. They looked beyond forex and started to explore commodities like gold, a favored safe haven investment during uncertain times. In fact, there was a moment in 2013 when their collective investment in gold was so substantial that it drove up global gold prices, surprising international financial circles and further solidifying their presence as a powerful force. Through each of these strategic moves, the Damas demonstrated that they were not only resilient, but also innovative. From leveraging the carry trade to diversifying into commodities, they continuously adapted to the challenges of global finance. Their small-town knowledge and community-based approach became their strengths, allowing them to thrive in a high-stakes environment typically reserved for institutional investors. What began as an attempt to grow family savings was now a fully fledged movement, one that crossed borders and challenged financial norms. The Damas had proven that with determination, adaptability and community-driven support, even the most unexpected players could make an impact on the global financial stage. By the late 2000s, the Damas' financial impact had reached an unprecedented scale. No longer were these women just curious retail investors from rural China. They had become a collective force that could sway markets. Financial analysts around the world began to take notice, dubbing their influence the Dharma Phenomenon. From forex trades to gold investments, the Damas were causing ripples that extended far beyond their local economies. One of the most striking examples of their impact came during the gold rush of 2013. As global markets experienced turmoil and traditional investments wavered, the Damas turned to gold as a stable asset. In a surprising move, they collectively bought up billions of dollars worth of gold, driving up prices worldwide. Financial institutions in the US and Europe were baffled as the surge disrupted their predictions, prompting news outlets to cover how these small-town investors had moved the needle on a global commodity. The Damas had turned a traditionally low-profile group of investors into a market-moving force. Financial experts started to view their activity as a factor to monitor, tracking their investments as indicators of shifts in global commodities and currency trends. Some international hedge funds and financial firms even began adjusting their strategies, recognizing that these investors, often trading from modest home setups, had the power to impact prices on a scale no one had anticipated. But with influence came risks. As their market presence grew, the Damas faced increasing volatility. They were venturing into markets where small fluctuations could mean large gains or equally large losses. Some experienced setbacks, and stories of significant losses served as a reminder of the high-stakes nature of global trading. However, their collective resilience and ability to adapt allowed them to continue moving forward even when markets became unpredictable. At the peak of their influence, the Damas had demonstrated an unexpected truth: that everyday individuals, empowered by knowledge and community support, could play a role in global finance once reserved for major institutions. They had redefined the boundaries of who could influence markets and shown the world the true potential of the retail investor. The Damas may have started as a quiet force, but their journey into global markets left an undeniable mark. Their influence on currency and commodity markets didn't go unnoticed by financial institutions, governments and economists around the world. What had begun as a movement to boost family savings had now evolved into a case study in the power of retail investors, a power that was once overlooked but could no longer be ignored. Financial analysts and institutions began to pay closer attention to the behaviors of retail investors in China, especially those in smaller towns. These Damas had demonstrated that with the right tools and strategies, ordinary people could impact even the most guarded and exclusive financial systems. This shift forced large financial institutions to rethink their approach, as they realized they needed to account for the collective actions of retail investors who could drive markets in unexpected directions. Their impact was not just felt in the numbers and price charts, it also changed the perception of who could participate in high-stakes investing. The Damas had broken the mold, challenging the notion that global finance was reserved only for the elite. They became an example for aspiring investors worldwide, inspiring others to explore investment opportunities previously considered out of reach. However, their journey also served as a cautionary tale. For all the success stories, there were also tales of significant losses among the Damas. Market volatility, currency shifts, and geopolitical events introduced risks that some hadn't fully anticipated. As a result, many Damas became more cautious, learning that while their influence was powerful, it came with the responsibility of navigating high-risk environments. Their legacy lives on, not only in the financial world but also in the broader movement of retail investors worldwide. Today, anyone with an internet connection can access trading platforms, learn investment strategies, and take part in markets that were once reserved for institutions. And while the financial landscape continues to evolve, the story of the Damas remains a powerful reminder of how determination, community, and a willingness to take risks can redefine who holds power in the financial world. The story of China's Damas is more than just a tale of financial success. It's a story of resilience, ingenuity, and the power of everyday people to reshape the world around them. From humble kitchens and quiet towns, these women took on the global markets with a determination that defied expectations, proving that knowledge and courage can turn even the most unlikely individuals into powerful forces. As we look at the financial landscape today, we can see the impact of retail investors like the Damas all around us. Their journey reminds us that the tools and resources once limited to financial elites are now within reach for anyone with the willingness to learn and the courage to act. The Damas showed the world that influence in finance doesn't require a Wall Street office or a title. Sometimes all it takes is a community of people willing to take risks for a better future. So, as we close this chapter on the Damas and their remarkable journey, the question remains, who will be the next unlikely group to challenge the financial world? Will it be another quiet revolution, sparked by ordinary people in unexpected places? Or perhaps the next financial powerhouse is watching this video right now, inspired by the story of these unstoppable Damas. In a world where finance feels complex and distant, let the story of the Damas be a reminder that anyone can make a difference. Perhaps all it takes is the right moment and the courage to believe that no market is too big for the determined. Thank you for watching. Peace out.